You can't join our book club. This is a book club show. You can't join our book club.
And everybody needs to know
You can't join our book club. Flashlights are really safe. You can't join our book club.
Yeah, that's true.
Book club, book club, book club, book club, book club, book club.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Here we are,
We're here,
back on the show.
back right now
And every time we're back on the show, you know that we're back on the show. So, yeah.
Hi, guys, and welcome back to You Can't Join Our Book Club, the podcast. My name is Alan Wake. I'm a writer.
My name is Barry Wheeler, and I'm his agent. So
No, I'm freaking with you guys. It's me, Joey.
I'm falsifying information. Yeah, I'm Tim. If it's your first time joining us, we like to review books, and
And if it's your second time joining us, that's a lie.
yeah, what he said.
Yeah. No, we're continuing the trend of this season, where we are reviewing novelizations, aka books that were originally something else.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's crazy.
I need to stop looking at the camera.
It's okay.
I'm
I'll
talking
do
to
it.
you.
I'll do it right now. I'm doing it right now.
I'm looking at you, camera.
Here's looking at you, Cam.
Here's looking at you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that hurt my eyes.
Yeah, it should.
In case you're only listening and not watching, which you should be watching.
You should be watching. Please watch.
We're flashing the camera.
Yeah, with our
With our
flashlights. Oh,
Oh.
one of those
Flashlights.
is true.
Yeah, what's up, Tim?
Here we are.
It's taken us a while to get back here. A little bit.
I mean,
a little bit longer
like a month.
than I wanted, yeah.
Like a month. Yeah.
But
which-
we're here.
Yeah.
We did it. We made it,
Mission accomplished.
and we're back. You read anything lately?
Well, the only thing I think that I've read since we last talked was The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, which is the new...
It's a Hunger Games?
It's not the newest Hunger Games, but it is a Hunger Games. And it's about... It's like a past. It's a previously on the Hunger Games.
Oh. I think they called that a prequel.
It's about Snow, the president man.
Okay.
And his it takes place during the 10th Hunger Games instead of the 74th and 75th Hunger Games. So
That's cool. I don't really know anything about Hunger Games.
pretty solid book, really terrible movie.
Oh.
Really bad movie.
That's the latest movie, right?
Yes.
It had what's her face from West Side Story, right?
Yeah.
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 Mm-hmm. Rachel something.
And that didn't save it.
No.
So
She was so good in that movie.
mm.
Man.
I haven't seen it,
Oh, it's so good.
but I'd like to. I'd really like to.
Yeah. I'll reiterate, it's so good.
Oh, is it?
It's so good.
Is it really good?
Man, it's like so good.
Man, if it was just better,
Yeah.
Then maybe
it was
I
a little
would.
bit better.
then maybe I would watch it.
Well, besides stuff to prep for the book club, I've only really read one thing recently, which is I'm reading Grant Morrison's run of Batman,
Oh, okay.
which is pretty good so far.
Yeah.
That's where they first introduce his little kid. What's his name?
Gotcha. Damien.
Yeah. And that's also when they do like the death of Bruce Wayne, and then they have Dick Grayson be Robin for a little bit.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was interested to read some of that at one point. I like some of what was going on during that time, so.
I only started reading it because apparently there's a really cool Red Hood design in it.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, from the pictures I've seen, it's a lot better than the normal Red Hood design.
Gotcha.
Because it's like white and black, and he's got like a little red skull thingy, and then he's got kind of the like original Red Hood.
Yeah, that sounds cool.
It's like a giant dome. But anyway, we're not talking about any of that right now.
We're not.
We're talking
And
about we won't ever again. We're talking about a book specifically. We're talking about Alan Wake,
Alan Wake.
based on the video game
It is.
Alan Wake.
Alan Wake.
The novel is written by one Rick
Alan Wake.
Alan Wake, Rick Burroughs.
Yeah.
We'll get into him later.
We're going to get right into
We're gonna
that
get
guy.
all the way into him. So Tim, what was your experience with Alan Wake before starting this journey with me?
I had no knowledge of Alan Wake other than the little tidbits that you had told me. So I knew that it was a video game,
There you go. Number one.
and I knew that it was connected to Control and also Alan Wake 2
That one makes sense. Yeah.
and another game.
Possibly, yeah.
And I knew that they did some fun stuff with there being live action things in the game, which is kind of uncommon.
Yes.
And that's kind of all I really knew about it. So yeah,
Hell yeah.
pretty coming at it with pretty fresh eyes.
Yeah. As for me, this has been one of my favorite games since I first played it a couple years back. I love the whole universe like this and Control, even to an extent Quantum Break, even though I never actually beat that one.
Even to an extent, Alan Wake 2.
Yeah, even though I never beat that one either. Even more to an extent, that other Alan Wake game that I can't remember the name of, that I didn't play for this, unfortunately. But this is the novelization of the video game, and I believe, let me pull up my notes real quick.
I'll allow it.
Okay, thank you. Actually, I'm gonna put my notes away real quick.
All right, I'll allow it. Off the record,
Yeah.
what do you think about it?
Because before we actually like get into the game, or into the book, into the whatever we're talking about right
Yeah.
now, we should discuss this cup of liquid right beside me.
Yeah, let's
and
talk
also
about
right
this.
beside you. This is a drink. As you know,
It's
we
a
like
coffee mug.
Yeah, we like to make drinks for every episode, and usually they're themed towards what we're reading.
Yeah.
This is coffee and an alcohol of your choosing.
Yeah.
It's very simple, and mine's pretty strong. I tried to make yours a little bit weaker just because I don't know what you're doing later today.
That's respectable.
I
I could get down to this.
have a pretty bad name for this because for the life of me, I couldn't think of anything. So I'm just going to call this, because it's coffee, the Dark Roast Presence.
Okay. All right.
It's weak, but it's also strong. And I like this. Oh no, I dripped.
What a failure.
So I think in discussing these novelizations, there are three things that we need to talk about. One, is this a good book? Two, is this a good adaptation of the source material? And three, I think I wrote this very well. What else is this author about book-wise? Like, has this author written anything else, or are they really only known for doing novelizations? Do you want to go ahead and just real quick answer these before we hop in? Or should we save that?
I think we should save that for the end.
That's smart.
Yeah.
All right. So I guess let's do a bit of a plot synopsis with fun stories and anecdotes along the way. Alan Wake is about a man named Alan Wake. He is a writer. And he has had writer's block for like 2 years. He was a very famous writer, and he hasn't been able to write anything in a long time. So in order to give him a break, his wife Alice Wake decides to take them on a vacation to the Pacific Northwest little town called Bright Falls. And
Except joke's on him, because instead of getting an Alan break, he gets more of a Alan wake-up call.
yeah,
She immediately is like, you know what, write a book here.
yeah. She takes him up to this cabin, this beautifully spooky cabin called the Bird Egg Cabin, something like that.
It's bird leg.
Bird Leg.
Bird Leg Island.
Bird Leg.
No. Divers Island.
Divers Island.
And
Bird Leg Cabin.
yeah.
And she's like, hey, guess what, sweetie? I brought your typewriter. Clickety, clickety, clickety. And he's like, what, you bitch? Why would you do that?
You're the worst. I hate you.
Why did I marry you? I'm going to leave you now.
Yeah.
And he does. And
I wish I just wouldn't be able to find you for a few days.
yeah, man, I wish you would just drown in this lake, and you'll never believe what happens next.
What happens after that?
He gets in a car wreck.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
After
I wouldn't have believed it.
After she gets drowned, but then there's a whole lot of things that go on.
Yeah.
But basically, the story is that he is trying to use his writing, which this mystical, magical lake area brings to life in twisted ways. He's trying to rewrite the story so that he can save his wife from the dark place, or whatever it's called.
Mm-hmm.
The lake, except it's not a lake, as we all know. It's
yeah.
an ocean.
Yeah. Cauldron Lake is not a lake. It's Cauldrotion.
Oh, yeah. So I think we can just hop into some things that I like
Yeah.
story-wise.
Yeah, absolutely.
And maybe things that you like too,
Maybe.
if you want to hop in.
Yeah.
So the first, well, actually, this is a bit embarrassing. The first big difference that I noticed in the novel is that they really take their time to let you know that the kidnapper is on the boat when they're like riding into town.
Yeah.
I
And it
have played that game. I've beaten that game like 4 times now.
yeah.
Never noticed that. I don't know if that's actually a thing or not.
I don't know either. Yeah, I was looking at that and I was like, is that true?
Oh, I didn't go back.
I don't know.
Because I played the game before I read the book, and then I was reading it. I'm like, damn, they got me.
Yeah.
I never.
If
knew
that is true, that's kind of cool.
But they also has my guy Pat Maine on that boat, who's the local radio guy.
Which that I didn't realize right away either. But I did put the pieces together when you finally actually see him in the game. I'm like, oh, that's the same guy.
Yeah.
Okay. But I didn't realize it at first.
That's my boy Pat Maine.
Your main man.
Yeah. And then actually, if we can rewind real quick, even before then, the first actual change that I notice between the novel and the game is that they take out all of the actual like video game elements of it.
Yeah.
So the story actually opens up with a dream, which is kind of like the thing you're not supposed to do in a story.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, and he was dreaming and then he woke up. But in the dream, Alan Wake runs over a hitchhiker because he's a bad person. And then he gets chased down by this hitchhiker who's still alive, and he's all dark and evil now. And then he has to make his way to this lighthouse. And it's basically just a tutorial in the game where it's like, oh, here's how you fight enemies. Here's how you run. Here's how you move the camera. And he gets to the lighthouse, and it's like a whole, like, it's like a level.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where you have a goal. That doesn't happen in the book. He like gets halfway there, and then he wakes up, and it's like, oh yeah, that makes sense. They don't have to, write everything that you do in that game
right
in this book,
which is probably the right thing to do. Like, don't actually do shot for shot the game, because it's a game.
Yeah, they thankfully skip over a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Where it's just Alan Wake walking in the woods.
Uh-huh.
Alan Wake fighting construction equipment
Yeah. Yeah.
over and over again.
Lots of that.
But
Which is cool in the game because it's a game.
yeah, it's very cool. And that's also, yeah, that's the purpose of the medium. You want to be more immersed in it. But the novel is just trying to tell like a succinct story, which that would just bog it down.
Oh, yeah. Way, way bad.
And then another good thing about the novel is that it's able to show us things that don't actually happen in the story.
Mm-hmm.
They're just like kind of supplemental little things. But I think they can build out the world a bit better.
Yeah.
Like when Alan and his wife are on the way to the cabin, they see, or Alice spots a car in the woods, and she's like, oh, we gotta go and find this car. And it turns out like they find the car and it's like destroyed. Like the tires are popped. It's like really old, and there's a tree just growing out of the middle of it.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, how the hell did this happen? This makes no sense. And it's just kind of a weird, creepy thing to find on the side of the road. That doesn't happen in the game.
No, not at all.
But it's just like a cool little thing that tells you, oh, everything is not as it seems in this little town.
Yeah, I did really like that scene. I thought that was a nice little addition to the story. And it made me like, I was like, was that something that happened in the game and I missed it? Or like there was a little reference to it? And then I was like, no, that's just something they decided to throw in there.
Yeah.
That's cool. I appreciate that.
And now they don't do that a lot.
No.
Most of the stuff, actually, I think all of the stuff in this book, besides that, is just stuff that comes directly from the game.
Pretty much.
But it is cool that there was a little bit of effort put into like the second chapter.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you'll notice a lot in this story. It has a lot of influences, and it shouts out a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
Specifically, at the beginning of the game, not the novel, but the game, there's a monologue at the beginning. Alan Wake is narrating, and he quotes Stephen King.
Yeah, yeah.
And you're like, oh, yeah, a lot of this is like kind of, I'm not going to say ripping off, but it's very much inspired by specific Stephen King stories, which I did read. I read one of them, and then I watched a movie of the other.
Oh, okay.
So,
yeah.
The Dark Half is a novel by Stephen King that I've read quite a few times now. I really like it. And it's about an author who, for the longest time, was writing under like a pseudonym or a pen name or whatever. And then all of the books that he wrote under that name were extremely popular. But he thought that he got into a really weird mind space whenever he would write those books. So he decided to kill that guy. He hosts like a whole like fake funeral and everything.
Oh, wow.
And then that fake guy comes to life and starts killing everybody who was involved with the death of that author.
Gotcha.
And
that sounds like a really interesting story.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
I love it.
I could get on board for that.
Most of it is really based on, or what I think influenced Alan Wake was like the whole like duel. Like it's like, oh, here's a good version of this guy and a bad version of this guy.
Mm-hmm.
That really only comes in at the very end of this game, and also the novel. And it plays a lot more into the American Nightmares game.
Okay.
But so yeah, like it happens at the very end where he's like, oh yeah, you're going to be stuck in here now. And this other version of you, Mr. Scratch, is going to be out in the real world.
Yeah.
And that is taken directly from Twin Peaks, where at the end of the second season, spoilers for Twin Peaks, the main character, Dale Cooper, after like trying to figure out what the hell's going on with this weird little Pacific Northwest town, he goes into the Red Room, which is this like alternate space dimension or whatever, and then another version of him is in the real world.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Interesting.
So, yeah, actually a lot of this is very much just exactly Twin Peaks.
Yeah.
Like the setting, the diner, they have the double R diner in Twin Peaks, and the actual like layout of the diner in the game is exactly the same.
Oh, that's kind of fun.
Yeah, it's great. And then the other Stephen King story is Secret Window, which is the movie. The actual short story is called Secret Window, Secret Garden, I believe. Was not able to read it. I just didn't have the time. But the movie is about a writer who can't write. He's got writer's block. And then one day this guy comes in, he knocks on his door, and he's like, "Hey, you stole my story." And he's like, "No, I didn't. Shut up, leave." But then the guy starts getting really aggressive and violent with him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Turns out the whole time that guy isn't real. It's just an evil, like, mental image of the writer, and then the writer kills his wife.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dang. What a fun time.
But yeah, that short story is a lot like The Dark Half, which Stephen King, he knows. Like, he's written like a whole thing about it where he's like, yeah, I think that this story is just doing this other story in a better way, which I think I like The Dark Half better. But whatever.
Yeah.
And then Twilight Zone. That's the last big one.
Yeah, yeah.
Because
huge Twilight Zone stuff in it.
Yeah. And I'm so sad I didn't actually get to watch any Twilight Zone in preparation for this. But yeah, it is a huge thing, obviously. Like, even the fact that Alan Wake got his start as a writer by writing for this like fake Twilight Zone show.
Yeah.
Called Night Springs.
Night Springs.
And then they have like actual episodes that you can find within the game, not in the book, because you're not gonna do like I'm not gonna like write out a whole episode of TV for a book.
Yeah, that would be kind of bad.
Yeah, but it's really cool, and that's where a lot of the live action elements come into the game.
Yeah,
because they just shot those,
which is really cool. It makes it even eerier.
Yeah.
When they come on, it's like, oh, okay, this doesn't look like it should be here. It's weird, but very cool.
Yeah. And then they do the same thing where Alan Wake will see a TV and it's playing footage of himself when he's stuck in the dark place and he's writing this manuscript, which we haven't talked about the manuscript, but that's the whole thing. The manuscript that he's writing is the story that is playing out in the story. That's the story that he's trying to change in order to save his wife.
And it's something that he completely wrote himself, but he was being influenced by this dark presence, this dark being that was trying to get him to make it more powerful, basically. Yeah,
because he has no recollection of ever writing this.
Nope.
And I think that scene where he finds the first page of the manuscript, I actually think that plays out better in the novel. Because you can just really like see, like you can feel like the kind of fear that he has, where he's like, what is this? Like, oh, Departure. I was writing a book called Departure. And then he sees his name at the bottom. He's just like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Like, where did this come from?
Yeah.
And it is kind of scary in the book. It's weird. But so that's kind of where we left off with the actual like story beats.
Yeah.
After Alice gets taken into the lake, Alan wakes up in a car that he doesn't know how he got there, but he has wrecked, and he gets out of the car. He knows that something happened to his wife, but he can't really remember exactly what it is.
Something bad, probably.
Yeah, something not great.
Yeah.
And
she's not here.
Yeah,
where's she at?
Who knows? But that's when he finds the first manuscript page, and they're being kind of laid out in his path to lead him along the right path. He finds the information that he needs from the pages at the right time.
Yeah.
And they are like what's actually on the pages is kind of just what's happening in real life at that time most of the time. Sometimes it'll be like something that happens in the future.
Yeah, usually it's either something that's going to happen soon or just happened. I feel like just kind of depending on the scenario of the game at the time. But yeah, and something interesting in the game, because it's a collectible, you don't necessarily find them all unless you're really looking for them.
Yeah.
And you can't collect them all unless you're doing the nightmare version,
which I have not
I didn't
done.
do. Yeah.
I have not seen all of those pages.
I didn't get all of them in the first episode because the game is broken into episodes instead of chapters or just calling it whatever. They literally do it like a TV show where it has an intro thing where it does the title sequence
Previously on
and
Alan
then
Wake.
they do which is great, and I love that they do that. But the story is broken into those sections so you can look through and see what you've found for those, and I found all but like 4 pages from the first episode, and then the other episodes I got pretty much all of them. I think all of them in the last episode and most of them in the other few.
I got all of the ones that I could up until like episode 4.
Yeah.
And then I was just like, I don't want to. I just want to kind of get through.
And it's probably because it was my first time playing the game, but by episode 4, I was like, I'm getting all these. And I was.
Well, see, it's maybe it is an episode 4. Whenever they're going to the farm and you don't have any of your weapons, and the dark presence starts like lifting up junk and throwing it at you.
Oh yeah.
There was one manuscript page that was like in a mine tunnel. Yeah, that's the word for it. And
shaft.
mine shaft, yeah. And I kept going in there and then getting trapped because they were throwing barrels at my face.
Oh
and
yeah.
body.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I'm just not going to anymore.
That might have been one of the ones that I missed, honestly.
It sucked. That's my one complaint about that game is they will literally just pick up stuff and throw it at you. And
constantly.
Most of the time you really can't dodge it. You're going to get hit.
I was pretty good at dodging it.
Well,
I got
like
good.
A lot of things come at you, like you'll move out of one thing
really,
and then another thing is just coming. And also like the physics of it, like it'll move past you, but then it'll like bounce back and hit you again.
Yeah. Hard enough to do damage for some reason.
And I'm like, I'm done. I'm just going to run past all of this.
Yeah.
But man, that did really annoy me.
Yeah.
That and the one boss fight, which we'll get to later.
Which, to explain a little bit of the mechanics of this game, you don't have this through the entire game, but most of the game you have a flashlight and a gun. And you may have multiple guns, you may have a really, really bright flashlight, but those are the basic things that you've got. Sometimes you'll have a flare gun, and basically this dark presence will kill people and possess their bodies, and it shrouds them in shadows, and you can't hurt them unless you get rid of the shadows, so you have to use the flashlight to burn those away.
Like break their shield.
Yeah.
And then you shoot their face.
And then the objects that get thrown at you are also being possessed by darkness. Well, and crows or ravens or whatever.
The birds.
And so you have to kill those with the flashlight as well.
Yeah,
basically.
You just.
Yeah.
Especially with the birds. That's. I'm just like killing the birds. I was like,
I actually got to a point where I liked the birds because I knew that if the birds were happening, typically nothing else is happening, and the birds are not really hard to beat.
Yeah, they're not.
They're annoying.
They're
but they're not hard to beat.
Yeah, they make you think that they're hard because they just take a long time.
Yeah. But as long as you flash the light on them before they hit you, you're good.
Yeah.
Like,
and that's just a thing with video games in general. They make you think something is hard by wasting your time.
yeah. But as soon as you actually figure out how it works, it's really not that bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, in the story, so Alan sees in the distance this gas station. He's like, "Oh, I got to get to this gas station because it's light, and that means it's safe."
Yeah.
And so we do this whole trek through the woods, and I don't know if I told you this, but when I was replaying it this last time, when they actually show you where the gas station is, it's like you walk to a cliff, and then you see the gas station in the distance. And the whole time I was just looking down. I'm like, I bet you I could just walk down this cliff.
Yeah.
And I immediately died.
Yeah. Oh man, there are so many places where I did things like that. After the first couple times, I was like, okay, that's just going to happen anytime.
Yeah.
But then I was doing it so that would happen.
It was really embarrassing, honestly.
Yeah.
And I'm glad nobody else was watching me, because it was literally just like, I'm looking down and now I'm falling.
Oh man, the first time I actually did that was when you get to the island that eventually sinks, right at the beginning of the game. And there's a little walkway to the island, and I was just jumping around, what you do when you're playing a game. And I was just jumping around as much as I could, and I accidentally jumped over the railing. And I just immediately died.
It's weird how much space they build out in the levels that you just don't ever go to.
I was so surprised in this game for it being as old as it is and as linear as it is. The woods,
you can get lost.
Yeah,
they're huge,
and that's the thing that makes the collectibles extra annoying. Because once I started to get an idea of how they would place them, it wasn't as hard for me to be like, okay, I need to search this whole area, or I don't need to worry about it. But especially in the early stuff, I'm like, this page could be, I want to find a page. There's probably a page here. It could be anywhere.
It could be anywhere.
And so I'm just running through the woods, but also you have a limited amount of stamina. So I'm running, walking, running, walking, running. It's like,
you also
God
have
damn.
limited amount of bullets.
But it's cool. It's cool that they build out so much of the space because it makes it feel, it's scarier.
Yeah. But what specifically made me think of that is you were just talking about the bridge up to the cabin.
Yeah.
The first time I played that, instead of going across the bridge, I just turned around and started going back up the road.
Oh, really?
You can go so far.
That's crazy. I didn't even think to do that.
Go,
that's awesome.
You can go up the hill, all the way up.
That's really cool. I like that. It's so unnecessary.
You can also do that at the gas station because there's the road right by it.
Yeah.
Instead of going into the gas station, you can just go down the road.
And that's something I did appreciate in this game, because in games like this that are super linear, the new God of War games, the old God of War games, but the new ones have kind of the same feeling that a lot of the current games that are like that do, where there aren't invisible walls or anything. You're not going to run into a wall, but it's very obvious with the way that the landscape is laid out. These are the places you can go, and this is where, the places you'll go. And
the places you'll won't.
Yeah. But in this game, it doesn't feel that. It was kind of refreshing to me for that. Not that I think that the way the God of War games are set up is bad. I think it's great. But it's just in this, it doesn't have that same feeling that all the Jedi Fallen Order and all those linear games do now.
Yeah.
But you also don't really have invisible walls. The only place that you have that is at the edge of a cliff. It does try and stop you from running off of it. It'll still let you do it, but it tries to stop you a little bit.
Yeah.
But I'm like, they did a good job designing it to where it doesn't look dumb.
Yeah.
but it also doesn't have a million invisible
It
walls.
looks like it could be an open world,
Yeah.
but it's not.
Yeah.
Story. Where were we in the
Sorry.
story? No, it's fine. We keep.
We're talking about the.
Oh yeah. So
Yeah.
he's trying to get to the gas station. It's this guy named Stuckey, Carl Stuckey. It's his gas station. He was also the guy who was supposed to give them the key to the cabin, but
Yeah.
he was sick, air quotes. But he really wasn't though. It was some evil lady who gave him a key instead. But yeah, so he's trying to find this gas station, and I love the interaction that we have with Stuckey in the novel. Because the thing about this novel is that it gets a bit more gruesome than the game ever does with its description.
Yeah.
I think I may have the quote somewhere. So sorry, I got text. Give me just a moment.
Yeah, I guess you can have a moment. I'll allow it this time.
Okay, well, thank you.
I'm allowing a lot of stuff. Just
Yeah.
so you know, that's going to come back to bite you later. You're going to have to allow some stuff for me.
Okay.
Maybe not today.
Yeah, so Carl Stuckey is he has attacked this is he like a construction worker or just some guy who's working out in the woods?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
we run into that guy first, and he's like, "Yo, man, help! I've been murdered." And then we see Carl Stuckey, who has been taken over by this darkness. He has become one of the Taken, as they call them. And Alan's like, "Hey, man, what the heck? Don't attack that guy." And he does, and he kills him. And in the book, I really like this. It says, Stuckey jerked the axe out of the man, left rib bones glinting in the sawdust. And I'm like, that's just we don't really get that kind of,
No.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like that in the game.
Not at all,
The
really.
game's a bit, I don't want to say sanitized, but it's just not very
It is.
gruesome.
It is sanitized a bit. I mean, not in a bad way, not in a way that it feels like, oh, they couldn't do anything in this game, like whatever. But it isn't like, ooh,
Yeah.
there's no gore, really.
Yeah, which is crazy because I played a bit of Alan Wake 2, and it goes places.
Yeah, all right. I guess I'll find out when I play that.
I was also surprised because you get to see a lot of man penis at the very beginning of that
Oh,
game.
wow. All
Yeah.
right. That's hot.
Really cool. But yeah, so like in the novel, they're like you actually get to see a lot of dialogue from this construction worker where he's like screaming out in pain, and he's like, "Yo, why are you attacking me? Like, you know me." And it kind of like you really get to feel the fear in this guy.
That's so sad.
You really get to feel the fear in Alan when he watches him just murder this dude. And that's when we really get introduced to the Taken as a concept.
Yeah.
Because we also find a manuscript page around the same point where
That sounds right. Yeah.
they're described as the Taken, which makes me wonder, does he come up with the name and that's why it's in the manuscript, or is it written in the manuscript and that's why he comes up with the name and then it's in the manuscript? It's a weird circular logic thing.
I mean, it seems like I read it as it's the name because he made it the name in the manuscript. Because everything that's happening in the manuscript is what happens in the game. So it's like whatever he wrote in that is happening. So he did it first. But I did wonder if it was the Dark Presence naming itself when it's called the Dark Presence or whatever, like, because it's influencing him in all this. So are they called the Taken because that's what it wants them to be called, or did he just name it?
That's a great question. And also, we're going to skip ahead in the story a bit. We're going to talk about Thomas Zane.
Yeah.
Who was he was the owner of the cabin on Divers Island. He was a poet who he was one of the, I don't know if he was the first, but he was like the previous I don't even know if that's true. He was another artist who was affected by the dark presence.
Yeah.
Um,
More so than the rest usually are.
yeah,
Like him and Alan are kind of in a special category.
yeah, because there are there's another group of people, the Anderson brothers. They're a band. Love them. They're so great. They were also mildly affected by this, but
Yeah.
not nearly to the same extent. Um, but Thomas Zane is showing up to Alan Wake in visions. He's the one who's placing all the manuscript pages in the right spots so that he can uncover what he needs to at the appropriate time. And then later in the story, we see um, a like piece that Thomas Zane has written, and it's about Alan Wake as a
Yeah.
kid. And I think
Yeah.
they do bring this up in the story, which is kind of similar to what I was just talking about. Um, did Thomas Zane's writing create Alan Wake? Does Alan Wake's writing, which is the story that's happening right now, create Thomas Zane, who in the story is creating Alan Wake?
Yeah.
It's really interesting, and you don't ever really get an answer as to what was originally real and what has been crafted because of the power of the lake.
And I did think that was super interesting the way it's put in the book, and very blatantly, like, hey, what's the situation here? Like, Alan Wake is trying to figure out, and he's like, and I honestly don't even want to think about it anymore, but like, am I real, or did I do this or whatever? But it's interesting because when I was playing the game, that's not the take that I had on it, because I kind of took it, none of the characters, well, I guess we don't know that, but the way the game plays, I don't get the impression that any of the characters in the game didn't exist until he wrote them into existence.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That they just don't seem that way. Could be wrong. I could be wrong there. But that was the impression that I had, that they all already existed. They're just, caused to act things out differently based on the way he writes it. So, with that idea in mind, I don't think that either of them wrote either of them into existence. They just, are reacting to what was written about them. Like, obviously it doesn't make a lot of sense that Thomas Zane would have written that about him, because he would have no way of knowing that this guy even exists when he's a child at the time. But it's, I don't know. I kind of took it as like Alan Wake would have already existed, and Zane was just writing about some family, and maybe that family didn't have these names, but they changed. Like, maybe the kid wasn't named Alan Wake, but they ended up naming him that because of the writing. That was kind of the take I had on it. That's both separately exist,
Very interesting. I don't know if I actually have any concrete opinion on it.
That's
because
fair.
I think the sequel to the game, not Alan Wake 2, but American Nightmares, I think it confused me even more. Because in that, so at the end, spoilers for Alan Wake, by the way, at the end of the novel and the game, he takes his wife's place in the dark place.
Yeah, yeah.
And then in American Nightmares, he is in Arizona for some reason. And he is playing over the same 3 events, like time after time. It's like a weird time loop, and he's trying to get it right. And he's trying to fight off Mr. Scratch, who is his, evil counterpart who's escaped into the real world. And they don't really make it clear if he is like escaped the dark place into Arizona, and then Mr. Scratch is just making him relive these 3 days, or if this is all just like a fabric, or not a fabric, a fiction that he has created within the dark place that he's playing out.
Yeah.
But there are like these characters that you run into every time you like replay the levels, and they know that their like days are being like looped over and over again. So like when the characters, die at the end of the first loop, and then Alan Wake comes back, they're like, you need to stay away from me. I know what's going to happen. Like when you're here, I'm going to die again.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so like I think the theory, or not the theory, but the story that they seem to go with is that it is actually like the real world Arizona that he's in, and it's just like some weird kind of gateway that he can escape to, but he's not strong enough to actually like leave the area because Mr. Scratch is keeping him there.
Interesting.
And so these people may or may not be real people, or they may be like fictions that he has created. It's just really weird, and I can never tell what's real and what's not.
Yeah.
But it's fascinating.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And I like a story that you could interpret different ways and have different opinions about and not necessarily be wrong.
Yeah, because like we've discussed this before. I think we have different interpretations of how this story ends.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which we'll get to that. Let's just run through a bit more of this story, I guess.
Absolutely.
So the big thing, or the next big thing, is that a man that we'd already mentioned earlier calls Alan Wake. I keep calling him Alan Wake, his full name. And says, hey, I've kidnapped your wife. Like, that's the big thing. And so he is trying to finish this manuscript so that he can give it to the guy, so that the guy will give him his wife back. Also, this is when Barry comes in.
That's right, my boy Barry.
Yeah.
The best.
The worst guy.
Damn guy.
No, I like Barry.
Yeah.
Barry's cool.
Barry's great.
He's really annoying.
Took me a minute to warm up to him, but once I did, I was like, this guy's awesome.
I think he's a little... I think I like him a bit less in the novel.
Yeah, me too.
He seems just a bit worse. He calls Alice the little lady at one point, which I'm like,
I did hate that.
Yeah, I don't like that.
I did hate that a lot.
And also, they just get a lot of like, video game dialogue in the game. Like just when they're running around, it's just like, yeah, we recorded a whole bunch of extra lines. And because we don't get that in the book, I don't feel their friendship is as realistic as it is in the game.
Yeah, I would 100% agree with that, because in the game, by the end of it, I'm like, okay, these guys, they go way back. They're close, and they always have been. They have that kind of weird, like, I'm gonna be mean to you verbally, but like it's like at the end of the day, we know we love each other, And in the book, it just kind of feels like, they're friends, I guess, but that's about it, really.
And again, I think it's just because they cut out all the like gaminess of the story, so we don't get all the weird little like, I gotta go around this building and open up the door so that Barry can get out, and we're gonna crack jokes at each other the whole time. Yeah. So because we lose all that, that's like a very important aspect to their relationship. And so since we don't get that, it just feels a bit false, I think. Still a cool character, though.
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
So the story follows Alan as he's meeting up with the kidnapper. The kidnapper's like, oh, we gotta, like, I need the manuscript, and then I need you to meet me at this place, and I need you to meet me at that place. And he's really just dragging him around.
Oh, yeah.
I think because he is trying to give him time to write the manuscript, because he gives him like a hard time limit. He's like, oh, I need it in 2 days, and then I need it by noon, and then I need it by midnight, and he just keeps dragging it out. And I'm reading that as like, he knows you can't write a book in 2 days.
Yeah.
But he really wants the book because it has power. I don't think they really go into that, like his reasoning that much. They do more in the novel, because it explain that he's working for Dr. Hartman, which they may mention that in the game.
Yeah, we know that he's working for Hartman in the
But,
game. You see them together, and you see Hartman being like, Mott, what is wrong with you? And then there's also stuff in the manuscript pages where you know that.
But something that I caught in the novel, which that it might be in the manuscript pages too, because a thing that they do with the novels is after every chapter ends, there's a manuscript page that you can read.
Yeah.
Sometimes it relates to the chapter before, sometimes it's just kind of random stuff. But one of them was talking about how Hartman, who is this like psychiatrist for artists, he was the guy that Alice wanted Alan to talk to get over his writing block or writer's block. He knows at least a little bit about the influence of the lake on artists because he was like an assistant to Thomas Zane.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if that's in the manuscripts in the game or not.
It is. Every manuscript page that was in the book is word for word from the game, from what I could tell.
That's cool. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna expose myself as a bit of a fake fan. After like the first episode, I stopped reading the manuscript pages.
Well, and see, like, again, maybe because it was my first time playing the game, but every manuscript page I collected, I read.
Yeah,
and part of it, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Part of it was because I'm not great at video games. And so even though this is not a hard game, I struggled with parts of it. Mm-hmm. So sometimes the manuscript pages were a nice break for me.
Yeah.
Where it's like, I just did a bunch of fighting and then I found this page, or I know I'm about to do a bunch of fighting. So this is something where I can just let it read it to me and I can just chill while I learn a bit more background about the story. So I was like, I'm going to do that. Definitely.
Yeah. See, that's unfortunately a thing I can never get myself into in video games, except for Skyrim.
Oh, yeah.
Skyrim has like whole ass books.
Yeah.
And I will just like steal like 50 books and then just sit there and read them all.
That's crazy. That's cool though.
Yeah. I know way too much like Elder Scrolls lore now.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Ooh.
But in most games, I don't. Yeah, me too. In most games, I don't do that. In most games, I am like, every time it adds something to your codex or your whatever little system it has for background,
a bestiary,
I will, I'll usually look at it to clear the notification, and that's about it. The one thing that caused me to actually do all of these for the Alan Wake thing is they actually got him to record reading it. Like the voice actor that is Alan Wake reads the pages.
That is really cool.
And I like that because he's narrating a lot of what's happening. And so it feels like a cool part of the game. And, like depending on where I'm sitting or whatever, I can't necessarily read my screen as well. Yeah. And so it's like, I don't have to. I can just listen to him say it, which is great. So.
And yet you don't like audiobooks.
It's not even that. I don't even. I think I would love audiobooks, but I just like the book. I like having a book.
This is a complete tangent. My internet went out the other night.
Yeah.
And I always listen to podcasts when I go to bed, right?
Yeah.
But I didn't have any downloaded on Spotify. The only thing I had downloaded was the Fellowship of the Ring audiobook. So I did fall asleep to that, and I had the weirdest dreams.
I'm sure.
And
yeah.
I woke up, and it was still like, oh, you're 16% done with the story. And I'm like, damn, this is a long-ass book.
Yeah, I guess so.
So I slept for like 9 hours.
That's fun.
Yeah. But no, actually, I kind of lied to you, though, because the second, besides Skyrim, I also got really into all the extra files in Control, which is in, it's the same universe.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
For some reason that I really liked, because it's a lot of, it reminds me of like SPC files. Did you ever get into those?
Not really, but I've
you know what
watched
they are.
stuff about them,
Yeah.
and yeah.
So it reads kind of like that, but they're all like either really funny or just the most terrifying thing you've ever read.
Okay.
And then it's also like a lot of like the science breaking down like all these weird objects of power that you find in the story. But
That's cool.
you gotta play.
I really
Control.
want to play it.
You
Yeah.
gotta play. If they had a novelization of Control, I'd be making you play that game right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they don't, or do they? I'm gonna Google this real quick. And while I do, I'm also gonna check my messages. And while I do, where were we in the story? Oh yeah, so he needs to finish writing Departure.
Yeah.
This manuscript, and he gets, or rather, Barry gets a message from Rose, who is this Alan Wake superfan who works at the Oh Dear Diner, and she's like, "Oh hey, I found a whole bunch of your manuscript pages." Turns out that was a lie. She was under the influence of this lady, the same lady who gave Alan the key to the cabin, the same lady who's been orchestrating this entire thing.
Barbara
Jagger, or rather the dark presence hiding in the skin of Barbara Jagger,
Yeah.
who's actually been dead since the 80s, I think.
Yeah, because she drowned in the lake.
Yeah, the same exact lake. Thomas Zane's wife, I believe, or girlfriend.
Either, wife or girlfriend. I think wife.
But yeah, so the dark
Something like
presence
that.
is taken over her body and is using her to orchestrate this whole ordeal in order to get herself more power. I
Yeah,
believe
yeah.
it's a bit vague. It's a bit, you know.
I mean, it makes sense from the way the game works. Like the longer the game goes on, the harder everything gets.
I forgot what I was googling.
And so it's kind of, that's their way to explain that, is that the way he writes the book and has written the book makes the darkness more powerful. And it makes sense. Like in the beginning, it can do, it can control some people. It can manifest itself in some birds, and it can pick up some objects. But then, like towards the end, like there's a huge storm and everything's falling apart, and I think
It's like
huge things are
ripping
getting
the
picked
forest
up.
apart.
Yeah. And so, the way I read it, at least, and played it, it seems like those are the events that happen in the book, but because that's the way he wrote it, the dark presence is getting more power from that, because it has to be able to do the things that he says it does.
Yeah, and
more or
also
less.
I think it kind of works in reverse too, where the further along the story he goes, no matter what's actually happening in the story, I think the dark presence would grow stronger anyway. And then he was just clever enough to kind of write a different ending, like subconsciously into it.
Yeah.
So he ends up tricking the dark presence because it like follows its plan for so long, and then there's kind of like a rug pull at the end where he's like, haha, actually I got you, bitch.
Yeah.
Because he's a clever little boy, kind of. But yeah, so it turns out the kidnapper is working for Hartman. He didn't realize that the dark presence was messing with Alan. So once he does figure that out, it, in the form of Barbara Jagger, comes to him and is like, hey man, I'm gonna end you right now.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I didn't know any of this. We don't have his wife. Oops. And then she like kills him, and then she throws Alan off a mountain.
Yeah.
And then he gets picked up in a boat by someone. By Hartman. It's Hartman. And this is my favorite part of the story, which I usually hate when they do this, but in this instance, I thought it was pretty well done. Hartman tries to convince Alan that he's actually having a psychotic break.
Yeah.
And none of this is happening. And he's been in his clinic the entire time after his wife died.
Well, and it weaves into the story so well.
Oh, yeah.
Is why, like, it's why I wasn't bothered by it either. Because normally I agree with you. I don't like when they do that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But it fits perfectly. And because of the way the dialogue in the game is written and the way it plays, I was theorizing the whole time from the beginning until very late in the game that this might not be real. Like,
That's fascinating.
Yeah.
That never once crossed my mind.
Yeah, there are a lot of times, like, especially early on, I was like, I think that we might be a serial killer. And we're just, like, losing our mind and killing people because we think...
Then it really would be mirroring The Secret Window.
Yeah. Yeah.
That'd be cool.
But so when that happens, I'm like, well, I know the character that we're playing doesn't believe that he had a psychotic break, but I'm like, maybe we did. I don't know. So it really worked for me. I really liked that.
I wonder if there's any game that's ever actually done that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe I've never played them, but it seems like a thing that the American McGee Alice in Wonderland games would maybe do.
Interesting.
You know American McGee?
Nope.
No, you don't.
Nope.
I mostly know him because he did 2 Alice games, I believe. There was like the original one, and then I think it was called Madness Returns was the other one. And it was kind of like a dark gothic take on Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah, yeah.
And then he also designed some Doom levels.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. You gotta watch that. I know you've watched some of it, but that Action Button review of Doom.
Yeah.
He talks about American McGee a bit in there.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Shout out Action Button. Tim Rogers, I know you're listening.
We know you're listening.
But yeah, so anyway, now he's in this hospital and he has to escape because he's like, this Hartman dude is obviously lying to me.
Yeah.
Turns out he is, and he breaks out after he meets, well, not for the second time, he meets the Anderson brothers, who, as we said before, they were this band in the 80s.
Yeah.
Who were touched by the dark presence.
And they're like my favorite.
Yeah, they're like the coolest people ever. And they're like, oh, hey.
The Old Gods of Asgard
is
their band,
they
which
changed
is a dope name.
Yeah, they changed their names. They're Odin and Tor. And one of them has an eye patch because he's Odin. Get it?
Yeah.
And he
and
lost
it's implied
his eye
that
for wisdom.
It's implied that he gouged his eye out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually, that that manuscript page is so funny.
Yeah.
Because it's like, yeah, they were getting drunk and they were having parties, and Odin was like, maybe I should lose my eyeball.
Yeah. Like, maybe I should poke my eye out. And then Thor is like, I'm going to run around naked with a hammer.
Yeah. They're great. I love them.
Yeah.
But they're like, hey, you're Thomas Zane, right? And he's like, no. And they're like, nah, you're Thomas Zane.
Yeah.
You should go to our house, our farm. We have a message for you. And so he escapes. He finds Barry, who was like locked in a closet.
Yeah.
And they escape. They go to the farm. They have this really cool fight on this
the coolest.
Yeah, this like musical stage.
But the lead up, the escape, he has to go through a maze.
Yeah, okay.
I really liked that.
In the game?
Yeah.
Oh man. Maybe I'm just really bad at video games then. Because I went through the maze in the game, and every single time you get to a boss fight at the end where it just keeps spawning a whole bunch of guys while Barry is trying to unlock this goddamn door. It's taking forever.
Yeah.
And so you have to fight all these people. I die so many times. I got so mad. I think I told you.
It was hard.
I like actually messed up my knee.
Yeah.
Because I got so mad. I took my PlayStation controller, just like slammed it against my knee. And I couldn't walk right for like a while.
Yeah.
That every single time I play that game.
I think I got lucky with that one a little bit, but
because I forget every time. The key is you just got to keep running around. Don't kill the people.
Yeah.
I try and kill him every time. And then it doesn't work. And then I remember it's like, oh, you have to run around. And I'm like, no, I think I could kill him though. And then I keep doing that like 20 times.
Yeah.
Man, I hate that. That is actually my least favorite part of the game.
That's fair.
But that part is not in the book.
Yeah, it's they
just
basically just skip over it. Yeah.
They don't do like I don't think they even do the maze, do they? No, they do the maze.
I think they do the maze
because they have the same dialogue where Barry's like, "Look, I'm an idiot, and even I could get through it."
Yeah.
But they don't do the boss fight. They just kind of get out of there.
Yeah, for the most part, boss fights don't exist in the book, which makes sense.
Yeah,
that's a video game thing.
Which that makes me a bit sad because I think they don't do any of the like big construction equipment things.
I think they mention it once. Yeah, I think there's like one thing that happens.
Yeah, I think they mention
there's like a harvester or something.
Yeah.
But he just finishes it.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal.
Which, like, sure, that's how I do it in the game, but that's because I'm really good at that game.
Right. Yeah, that was one thing that I thought was a lot of the stuff he's able to defeat easier than I feel like he should, because it's like, yeah, in the game you can, but for writing a book, I feel like the action should be more.
Yeah. And they point out a lot. They're like, yeah, I've never even shot a gun except for at a range, which when he first fights the Taken, they do make a point to say like, oh yeah, it kept like going round and round for a while. It took forever to kill this one guy because he kept like shooting and missing.
Yeah.
And he was like worried he was gonna run out of bullets. But then after that, he's like a god.
He's great at it.
Yeah, he never has to struggle anymore.
Yeah.
But they go ahead.
It's just that's what I really liked at the beginning of the book, the way it's written, because well, for one thing, I think that it alludes to the game a little bit, and like it says like he's trying to climb up something and then he stumbles off of it the first time and then tries to do it again, and I'm like, that's exactly what I did in the game because I sucked at walking.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's cool. They're kind of alluding to the video game-ness of it. And then after the first chapter, that's all kind of gone.
Yeah, he loses the struggle.
And I'm like, I thought that I thought they did such a good job of capturing that in the beginning, and then it's just kind of gone for the rest of the story.
Because I think, kind of to build off what you're saying, like they mirrored the player's experience in the beginning.
Yeah.
But then I think they kept mirroring the player's experience.
Yeah, which you shouldn't.
So much easier. And I'm like, it makes sense for us because he's not like a real person. We're just controlling him with a little stick and buttons.
Right.
But in the story, we're supposed to believe this is a real guy. Yeah. So he needs to struggle or else what's the point?
Probably getting more tired. He's like barely getting sleep. He's doing all this stuff. Like he should be struggling the whole time.
And they do mention at some points, it's like, oh yeah, I haven't, like showered in a few days. I feel disgusting. I need to eat food. I haven't eaten in forever.
Yeah.
But that doesn't actually like hinder him at all.
No.
It's just kind of like after the fact. It's like, well, yeah, also he is a real person. But yeah, so they get to the Anderson farm.
Yeah.
Really cool scene in the game.
My favorite part in the whole game.
You're playing on this giant musical stage, has like an animatronic dragon. Barry's playing with all the music and the lights, and they're like blowing up the Taken.
Yeah.
While there's like just a shit ton of ammo everywhere, and you're just shooting everyone. It's awesome.
There's rock and roll music playing the whole time, just blasting and
somehow,
lights and fireworks.
I've said this before. Somehow this is still the least impressive musical moment of these games.
Yeah.
But it's so cool.
It's so cool. It's one of the most fun moments in a video game that I've played. Like I got there and I was like, are we about to do this? Mm-hmm. And then it starts to happen and I'm like, the dragon on the stage does a thing at the beginning and I'm like, oh, that's cool. But I'm kind of still in disbelief that we would actually get this cool moment. And then it's like, no, we're doing it. We're doing it. We're just having fun.
And yeah, it's so cool. And then, it gets better with every single game.
Yeah.
Control has 2 moments. I know I keep saying that.
I'm so excited for that.
You only play one of them, but the other one you do still get to experience. And it's like one right after another too. So it like really hypes you up.
And that's the thing too. Like I did fail once with
Really?
this, so you can't like. It's not like you can't lose.
Yeah.
I just was stupid. I just did a stupid thing.
I think it's just hyped me up too much. Like I've never lost.
But
that.
that's the thing, though. Like, it's definitely set up in a way where you don't have to lose. Like, it's not hard.
Yeah.
And I like that. I like when a game will do that sometimes, where it'll just give you something. Like, this is gonna be fun, and it just is like ridiculously fun.
Yeah. The novel doesn't. The story doesn't read as well.
No,
which it can't.
it can't,
There's
yeah.
no way it could.
Yeah.
It's still. If I hadn't played the game, it probably would have sounded cool. I probably would have imagined something similar to what happens in the game.
Yeah.
Just by
yeah.
reading it. But it's not comparable at all.
Yeah, you don't get to experience the full effect of it without actually playing the game.
And then they get to the Andersons' house. They find the message in like a song that they wrote.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, here's how you beat the dark presence and all that. And then they get arrested.
Well, they get super trashed and then
Yeah.
they get arrested.
They it's like some like Viking mead or whatever.
It's moonshine.
Yeah.
But
same.
yeah.
Yeah. But it's the same
Yeah,
idea because they're Vikings and whatnot. And then they get arrested by FBI Agent Nightingale, who
Yeah.
we have not mentioned at all
At
in the
all.
story.
Yeah,
He
he's
is-
tried to arrest Alan a couple times already.
Yeah, he like tries at the trailer park.
And then
where he
again
just
at the
straight
radio
up,
station.
Yeah, he just straight up tries to shoot him, which is crazy.
Yeah, he goes in guns a-blazing immediately, almost shoots a civilian.
Yeah, which I think it was a really good bit in the novel when he sees him at the trailer park, because like he's Alan's actually scared. He's like, oh shit, is this FBI agent? I have a gun on me. That's not going to end well.
Yeah.
But then he just shoots at him immediately, and he's like, well, I'm just going to dip then.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this FBI agent, he is like hammered throughout this entire story. He's not a good guy.
No.
But he arrests Alan and Barry, takes them back to I was going to say Twin Peaks. It's not Twin Peaks. The Bright Falls prison, or jail, or whatever. And then the sheriff of the town is there too, Sheriff Breaker. And she's like, you can't be arresting these people. Like, what's wrong with you? And he's like, shut up. You're a woman, and I'm an FBI agent. And then he gets sucked out of the room by the dark presence.
Yeah. Which Agent Nightingale is two of my favorite manuscript pages.
Yeah.
There's the one where he's actually like getting sucked out by the dark presence, and right before that he's realizing that he read it.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh no!" He like it dawns on him that he's about to get taken away.
It's so cool
because he's read like almost the whole manuscript, and because he confiscated it, and
he's like
he's realizing that everything is true.
Yeah, he's like, what he's saying right now is what he's already read.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh God.
Yeah.
He's
So
just like,
that
right
was a
out the
great
door.
moment. And then there's another one that you find that I just loved. It basically was saying he pulled out his hip flask as he read the page that made him pull out his hip flask. That it's like basically the page is saying what he's doing as he's doing it, and then he's like, this is ridiculous. And I just loved reading it. Normally, like, when it gets a little too meta like that, I think it's kind of silly, but it just works. It's just good.
Because it fills the characters with realization and terror.
Yeah.
And then most of the time they die right after.
100%.
Which, like, yeah, that'd be scary as hell.
Yeah.
But then we get to another one of my favorite bits, which is Alan Wake and Sheriff Breaker just having a fun night on the town.
Yeah, they're great. They're so much fun.
Yeah. They have to go to find the lamp lady, which is the only person who they believe can help fight off the darkness.
Yeah.
So they have to go, all three of them, Breaker, Alan, and Barry, have to go to get a helicopter.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so they're just like going through the town, which is just getting absolutely destroyed by the dark presence. They're having to kill all these Taken. They finally get to the helicopter. And then the last part of the book is different from the game. Because, again, they cut out all the video game stuff.
Yeah.
Where Alan gets separated from them, has to like go on this weird path. No, none of that happens. They just kind of go find the lamp lady, all three of them.
Yeah, I was honestly bugged by the fact that they omitted them getting separated. I really liked, obviously when they get separated, Alan kind of falls out of the helicopter as they're trying to land it.
Yeah.
And so it's a little silly, maybe, but it works with the story. The story is action packed and ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I think that it's obviously for the plot of the video game and for you to not have their help and whatever, of course.
It's to make that chapter longer.
Yeah. But I like it because it shows, even though he realizes the stakes and he cares about getting Alice back, and that's kind of his whole thing, he is not willing to sacrifice Barry and Sheriff Breaker to this, to achieve his goals. He wants to save them too. Yeah. He doesn't want to drag them down with them, and I feel like it's a good character moment for him because a lot of the stuff up to that point, it's not that I feel like he doesn't care about other people, but it's just not his only real priority is Alice.
Yeah.
I think that's a good moment for him.
A big section of notes right here.
Yeah.
About how I think Alan Wake is a bad person.
Oh, yeah. He's not a great guy.
Yeah. We'll get into that later.
Yeah.
But yeah, no.
Well, I also... Sorry.
Go ahead.
I just realized this before, but I also feel like it's lazy. Because, they give you this, okay, we have a tunnel that is completely lit that goes all the way from where we're at right now to where we need to be to get this big secret weapon. And it's just like, well, okay, so we don't have to fight we just go there. That's it. And I just feel like that feels lazy. And the thing that I love about it in the game is it's exciting because you're like, well, at least for me, not being good at video games, I'm like, oh my God, I'm to a point where we're about there. And I'm excited because, okay, we just go through the tunnel and we get to the secret weapon. And I know crazy shit's going to happen after that, but thank God for the tunnel. And then I realize, shit, I'm not going to get to use the tunnel. And I love that.
Yeah.
I love that in the game. And I feel like in the book, it would be good too, because it's like, you could have a little bit more action before we really get to the end. And they just are like, nah, let's not do that. But
I do agree with you. I think it shows his growth as a character where he's he has the easy way to get to where he needs to go. And he's like, well, actually, I got to go help these people.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
I will say when I was reading the book, though, I was like, oh, thank God they're skipping over all this.
That's fair. Well, and it yeah, my main thing with that, I feel like it would have been a good moment to deviate from the story, but still add action. You could do some really cool action-y stuff and do your own thing with it, and that would be a great place to insert that, but instead we're just like, oh, no, let's get to the end, actually.
Yeah, they wouldn't have to do all of it. You wouldn't have to do the weird puzzle that you have to do with the 3 bridges.
Oh, yeah.
You don't need to
unnecessary. Yeah.
But it could still be oh yeah, I have to go on the fun little spinny bridge.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite parts of the
game. I
game.
liked that too. That was cool.
And then also when he's running on top of the dam.
Oh yeah.
That's such a, and I get it because it's such a cinematic moment that it probably doesn't play as well when it's written. But man, is it so cool.
Oh, it's really good.
Yeah, for the people who haven't played the game, Alan's trying to get, at this point he's trying to get down to the room that he needs to go to, and he has to cross the top of this dam, but the dark presence is following right behind him, and it's just like tearing everything up and throwing it at him.
Yeah.
And so you're not fighting anything. You just have to book it across the entire place.
Yeah.
It's so much fun.
Yeah. It
so
looks
stressful.
really cool and it's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they get to the well-lit room, as it's called. And this lady, we haven't even really talked about the lamp lady. She was a lady who was in love with Thomas Zane. And she is like the only person who really knows about what happened to him and Barbara.
Yeah.
And because of that, she's terrified of the darkness, much like Alan's wife, which we didn't bring that up either. And I think that's funny because they kind of pose her, like, I don't think they actually do, but just within the, I guess, subtext of the story, they're posing her as she could either end up becoming like Barbara or like the log lady. Not the log lady, that's from Twin Peaks. Fuck. The lamp lady.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's so much like Twin Peaks. It's insane. They have a lady who just carries around a log.
That's
funny. They call her log lady. Now they have a lady who carries around a lamp, and she's the lamp lady. But anyway, they go to this well-lit room, and it's pretty well lit, and there's a box in there because, yeah, so how Thomas Zane fixes his situation is he writes himself out of reality.
Yeah.
Obviously it doesn't fix much because it happens again. But everything that he wanted to save, he was able to put in like a shoebox, and it saved it. And when Alan opens it up, it's this it's a clicker from like a light.
Yeah.
Like a lamp. And this was actually mentioned before in like a flashback when they're talking about how Alice is scared of the dark. Alan talks about how he had this clicker that his mother gave to him, and it was from his dad. So it's like this weird, like almost mythological type of deal because he doesn't know his dad. So it's like it's magic.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so whenever he wanted to feel safe, he would just hit the clicker, and he'd be safe. So he tries to give it to Alice, and she's like, "Well, that's dumb. I'm not 5 years old, Alan.
Yeah.
I'm going to go jump in a lake now." But the clicker is in there, and he's like, "Oh, okay, so I need the clicker to defeat the darkness."
Yeah. Yeah.
So he takes it. He goes, he fights a giant darkness tornado.
Yeah.
And then he takes the clicker.
Darknado.
Yeah, he punches Barbara in the chest and then turns it on.
Yeah.
And then the story gets rewritten.
Mm.
Alice comes out of the lake. Alan is stuck in the dark place now. And this is kind of where we disagree a bit, I think.
Possibly.
So the novel describes it one way, and the game I always thought described it a different way, but maybe it doesn't. I had always assumed after playing the game that what Alan does is rewrite the entire story to where instead of Alice going into the lake and dying, he goes after her, she comes up, and he doesn't. Meaning that none of the stuff that happened afterwards actually happens. Because that would help, like, take away most of the damage that he has brought to this tiny little town, which I think is his goal. In the novel, though, it's specifically, it takes place, like, when he actually killed Barbara.
Yeah. So in one version, Alice, we basically go back in time, and Alice comes up from the lake the day that she went away,
and Alan
doesn't. And then in the alternate way of reading it, playing it,
everything happened, and then Alice comes out,
right? Which
I like my interpretation more because I see it as Alan kind of growing as a person, to where he realizes the damage that he has done, and so with this last act, he uses all of his power to kind of negate all of that damage to try and help the most people that he can.
Yeah.
But that's not what the book says.
Yeah, I get that. I read it and watched it more played it more as like he can't do, like, I felt like that was lumped in with the whole thing. Like, they have a little narration thing of him realizing that the reason things didn't work out for Thomas Zane is he didn't understand the rules and the balance that you have to write this and for it to come true. And so, like, stuff didn't quite work out for Zane because he didn't understand that balance. And I felt like with this, like, that was also saying, like, okay, you can't undo what's already happened. Like, but you can continue things from where we're at. And so, like, it's sketchy that you're even able to bring Alice back, but sacrificing yourself for her works is kind of what I read that and
I
viewed that as.
My thoughts are similar, but just the balance is that instead of her going down, he does.
Yeah.
And then he just stays down there.
I can see both points of it, but yeah, the game leaves that ambiguous.
Yeah.
You don't really know. You just see her come up from the lake. But in the book, she comes up from the lake and then the sheriff is there and they have a little conversation and you're like, okay, so everything has to have happened. Otherwise this conversation can't be happening. Yeah,
and in doing
interesting.
so, he kind of does what Zane does, where he wrote himself out of reality.
Yeah,
because you'll see in the later games, not a lot of people know who Alan Wake is now.
All right.
Yeah. And now I just have like a bit of a thing that I want to read.
Well, do you mind if I jump in first? Because I just have a couple.
Yeah.
So there's a moment in the novel where Alan has read a manuscript page that tells him about Barry stocking up on weapons and flares, and he specifically tells Barry, he's like, you can find flare guns at this place in the convenience store, so that Barry will know later to grab those.
Yes.
And then that scene kind of doesn't happen, really.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, that's really stupid because you made a point. Like, in the game, he doesn't say that to Barry. And Barry does stock up on a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
And then in the book, he says that to Barry, and that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Or I guess
like,
you can assume that maybe it does happen, but we just don't see it.
It's like assumed that it happens in the same way that you assume that all the weird video gamey stuff happens.
Right.
He's fighting all these people, and they just don't go into the actual effort at describing it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is weird that they kind of just omit that.
I thought that was kind of dumb. And there was... Well, I mean, the tunnel to the lighted room and everything, that was another moment like that where I was like, I get what we're doing here, but I don't love that choice. And then I feel like those were the only standout things that I really remember from that. But I did also think about, and I guess we might get into this a little later too. I mean, we're nearing the end here, but
I still got a bit to talk about.
So I don't think Alice is great. I mean, Alan sucks.
Yeah.
Alan is kind of a dick. But Alice kind of sucks too, because like she blindsides him with therapy, and I think that's a fucked up thing to do to somebody.
Yeah.
Kind of messed up. Because straight up, the whole point of them coming to this town is for them to have a little getaway together so that they can just forget about all their normal problems and just have a nice time, nice little vacation. And then as soon as they get settled in, she's like, I brought your typewriter. You should write. And that's, I don't think that's a cool thing to do.
No.
I think that's messed up. And then the thing that she's planning to do that she doesn't get to do is try and get him to go see this Dr. Emil Hartman and like do therapy. And I'm like, you can't just decide that for somebody.
Yeah.
You know, that's not a cool thing to do at all. And he thinks that he's having a nice vacation where you guys get to reconnect. And instead, if you get your way, what's going to happen is he's going to work and he's going to do therapy, and that's it. And I'm like, that's not cool at all. So the whole time he's trying to get her back, I'm like, I don't even really care if he does. I mean, like he treats her badly in the flashbacks. So I'm like, maybe I get where she's coming from.
Maybe they just shouldn't be together.
But yeah, I wasn't a fan of that personally.
Yeah.
Also, Dr. Hartman's creepy.
Dr. Hartman's very creepy.
Yeah. So interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you want to do
right.
your
Let me just go through
list.
my paragraphs real quick. So obviously, Alan Wake is a story about stories.
Yeah.
Most of the time I find that kind of lazy, but it's also taking a lot of influence from Stephen King. If you read Stephen King, he's always writing about writers. That's like his whole thing.
Yeah.
Alan Wake is not just a story about a writer whose writing comes to life. I believe personally, Alan Wake is a story about a bad writer whose bad writing comes to life.
Yeah.
I don't think he's a good writer.
I don't think so either. Yeah.
Someone says he's too heavy on metaphors, which I believe is true. He's very clunky. He says that no one's ever said this to him before. I think he just wasn't listening. The only reason his stuff gets published as it is because Barry is his agent and also his best friend. Yeah, it's real bad.
Yeah, I totally
he's
agree.
Arrogant. He thinks he's the best writer in the world.
Oh yeah. I mean, when he gets drunk, he's literally like, I could write 10 books a year.
Yeah.
And you're like, nah, dude.
Yeah.
And he was like, they'd all be bestsellers. And I'm like, no, you're dumb.
No. Yeah, he's a writer who can't accept his own shortcomings. I said he's also an asshole, obviously. He's a bitch to his wife. He thinks that everyone is beneath him. He has obvious anger issues. He's an addict. Not that being an addict makes you inherently a bad person, but he is an addict and also separately a bad person.
Yeah. And the addiction feeds into it.
Yeah. And also he's not trying to stop. Like you said, he gets like wasted at one point. He's also, he just takes a beer from Barry at one point. He's like, this is mine now.
Yeah.
And his writing literally hurts all the people around him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I said the ending, it's Alan trying to make up for his actions. He saves his wife and he writes himself out of reality. This is, like I said, why I also think that it kind of rewrites the entire story. So I don't really need to go over that again. But yeah, he tries to undo as much damage as he can to the town and his citizens, which I think makes him a very compelling character. I think he's a more compelling character in the game than the novel.
Yeah, I would agree with that for sure.
And that's all I really have to say before we answer the questions. So do you want to answer the questions or do you have more to say?
I have one more thing to say.
Go ahead.
About the ending.
Yes.
I felt that the ending in both the book and the game is underwhelming as far as defeating Barbara.
Dumb.
Well, yeah, I agree with that. There's like this weird tornado thing right at the end, and it is dumb.
Yeah.
But defeating Barbara Jagger, defeating not her, but the dark presence that has been inhabiting her this whole time, is, like you said, he shoves his fist in her chest and presses the button, and that's it. She's done.
Yeah.
And in the game, very underwhelming because I'm expecting this huge boss battle. I wasn't like necessarily upset, but I was a little bit like, really? That's it? And then in the book, it reads exactly the same way, and I'm like, I feel like you should have had to work a little harder for that.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I love that.
Yeah, I think they tried to make it make sense more symbolically than actually as something satisfying to the story.
Yeah.
Which makes it come off as just a bit weak. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's one of the weaker aspects of the game.
Yeah. In every other way, I loved the game. But I got there and I was a little bit like, oh, okay. And then another thing about the game versus the book. In the book, I think it very explicitly says that the Taken are like hollowed out husks. Those people are not alive anymore. So killing them doesn't really matter. I don't feel like we ever got that in the game, and I prefer that. If it does say it in the game, honestly, I wish it didn't, because I think it has more impact on me, the player, me, the reader, if I think there's a chance these people could still be okay.
Especially with like, and we didn't even talk about him at all. Rusty.
Yeah. Yeah.
Rusty is like he's a park ranger, and he like rents out all these cabins. We meet him when he's normal.
Mm-hmm.
And then later on we see him when he gets attacked by the dark presence.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh, we're gonna try and like patch you up and save you. When we go back, he's not there, and then we find out that he's been taken, and then we have to kill him.
And that's upsetting.
And it's very upsetting. And I agree with you. I think it's a bit less upsetting knowing that there's nothing we can do about it now.
Right. Like with that context, he is dead.
Yeah.
It's just his corpse that's after you. It's like zombies. Like, is it upsetting to kill the guy that you know and love? Yeah, but he's not alive anymore.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really matter. And that's the thing that I liked more in the game, personally. But yeah, I'm down to answer some questions now. Let's do this.
All right. So is this a good book? Me, personally, I said kinda.
Yeah. I would give the book just as a book. Like, it's middle of the road. It's not a great book by any means, but it's definitely not a bad book.
Yeah, it's like a 5 out of 10, maybe a 6.
For sure.
I think it just your enjoyment of it kind of relies a bit too much on actually knowing the game.
100%. And it's hard to get out of that with a novelization, but the good ones do.
Yeah. Second, is this a good adaptation? I said sorta.
Yeah, I think it's fine. I mean, it hits all of the important beats. I don't feel like they change anything unnecessarily, but I also don't feel like they only do beat for beat what happens.
Yeah.
So it's fine.
Yeah. It's just like we said earlier, I think a lot of the enjoyment of the story and these characters comes from like more of the video gamey aspects of it.
Yeah.
Which are hard to translate into a novel. And the author, I think, didn't do a great job of translating a lot of that.
Yeah.
And therefore, this just feels like a weaker version of the original story.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that.
And then what else is this author about book-wise? You can't really talk about this one.
Yeah, I can't.
Rick Burroughs has only written Alan Wake.
Oh.
And because of this, I have a theory. I don't think Rick Burroughs is a real person.
Maybe not.
There's no information about him online. I think it's a pen name.
Yeah.
If I had to guess, it might be Sam Lake, who was maybe the director or like creative director or a lead writer or something on this game. And I think he is the director of the sequel. You've seen him in the game. He was the guy who played Alex Casey in the movie in that TV interview.
Yeah.
He's also in the second game where he plays FBI agent Alex Casey, who has no relation to the character from the novel.
That's really funny.
Yeah, it's really cool. He's also the face model for Max Payne. I've probably told you that before.
Yeah.
But yeah, so my thought is it might be him.
Okay.
Also because I think some of the prose in this book is a little weird, a little stilted in a way that makes me think maybe the guy who wrote it is not a native English speaker, much like Sam Lake.
Yeah.
I'm assuming because he's from like Finland or something like that.
Interesting.
But yeah, that's my thoughts on that.
Yeah.
Because I could not find anything else about Rick Burroughs.
All right. So I also wanted to cover this before we move on from this section. Is the source material good?
Oh yeah.
And then that, like, I think that we probably want to do that with each of these books as we go. I think that, yeah, this video game, very solid video game. Like,
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's an enjoyable story, and it's told well. So
It's so cool. It's one of my favorite survival horror games.
yeah,
And that's all I got to say.
Yeah.
It's really cool. Play
and
it.
I don't. When I was first starting to play the game, I was saying this to Tia, but I don't personally love mechanics where, you know, you have a limited amount of something, and if you don't have that thing, then, you know, it's like in most survival horror things, there's batteries involved, and you need to have batteries, and sometimes there's ammo and whatever, and that drives me nuts. I understand the purpose of it, but it drives me nuts. In this game, didn't really bother me once I got used to it, because for the most part, it gives you what you need. You know, very seldom did I actually run out, but it still gave me the right amount of anxiety. So, yeah, I thought it was good.
I will completely disagree with you there. I think survival horror mechanics are amazing.
Yeah,
Those are that's probably my favorite game genre.
yeah.
And I think it's because it always gives me anxiety.
Oh, yeah.
And it really pulls you into the right kind of mental state for the game. And it also, if it is done well, it'll make you really good at the game because you
That's
don't
fair.
have a lot of supplies to use.
See, that's where I differ, and maybe it's just because I haven't played a lot of survival horror. Maybe that has something to do with it. But there have been games that I've played, like Outlast, the original Outlast. It makes me mad in that game, not scared or anxious.
Fair enough.
It just makes me mad.
Yeah,
I find it annoying to have to search constantly. It takes me out of it to also be like, in this game, I didn't feel like the searching took me out of it. But in some games, okay, I got to open every fucking door in this whole place. And then, there's a battery. Like, it's just, it instead of making me scared, it just makes me angry. So, I don't know.
I don't know.
Maybe
if
that's
I
just
could
me.
recommend Resident Evil to you there.
Probably not.
Because I think those are the best survival horror games, especially like the remake of 1, the remake of 2, Resident Evil 4, either the original or the remake. I think those are all fantastic. But yeah, most of it is search for stuff. You got to find keys, open doors.
Well,
it's awesome.
I did get used to it in this game, so maybe the more I play that kind of thing, the better I'll get at it, and the less it'll bother me.
Maybe.
Who knows?
I'll keep that in mind for my recommendations at the end of this episode. But we're gonna do a game now. You guys ready for game time?
I love a good game.
Yeah, so you don't know anything about this one.
Nope. This will be all new to me.
So I did steal, I already told you this. I stole this idea from another podcast. Shout out the Segments podcast. That's our boys Jake and Amir. They have a game called Poetry or Noetry, because Thomas Zane is a poet in Alan Wake. And I thought that was kind of fitting. So
Yeah.
I have written here 3 poems. 2 of them are by people who are not me. One of them is written by me.
Okay.
And you're going to tell me which one was written by me.
Okay. All right. I'm in.
And the punishment for this, if you don't get it right, or if you do get it, the loser, because we're going to follow what I think the end of the story is, just taking it all the way back to the beginning. We're going back to our first punishment. We're doing 50 sit-ups again.
Oh, okay. I was like, what does he mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, because I couldn't think of anything else. Also, I really hope I don't get it, because after I hurt my back a few weeks ago, I've not been keeping up with my sit-ups.
Oh, yeah. Well, I haven't done a sit-up since we did that episode.
I used to be able to do 50. Who knows if I can now?
I've lost some weight since then. Maybe that'll help.
There you go. I bought this is a tangent again. I bought a scale
Yeah.
for like $10.
Yeah.
And I put it right next to my bathroom just because I thought it'd be really funny to weigh myself before and after shitting.
Has it been really funny?
Yeah. It's good. Anyway, poetry or noetry. These are theoretically all poems taken from the website Hello Poetry. So, poem 1, Picnic at Lake Berryessa, from Hello Poetry user Carlo C. Gomez. That is Carlo, not Carlos. No S. I hold still. Let him finish stabbing me. I count 6. Let him believe me dead. He moves on to Cecilia. It does not go as well for her as she continues to writhe and scream and carry on, not well at all. I count 8, 9, 10. That is poem 1, Picnic
All
at
right.
Lake Berryessa. I think that's the, what's his name? Was it the Zodiac or the Texarkana guy? One of those.
Okay.
This is On the Lake That I Call Home by Thomas Zane. I'm just kidding. It's Hello Poetry user Tom with 3 M's. M. Tom.
Okay.
On the Lake. Nope. Yeah, On the Lake That I Call Home. That's the title. I can remember. Seems like only yesterday we were together, living side by side on the lake that I call home. You are there no more. Can't think of a time the water has been as harsh as it is right now. That's poem 2. You're probably starting to figure out a theme.
Yeah.
It either has to do with violence or lakes,
Yeah. Yeah.
because that's what this is about. No More Sweet Dreams by Hello Poetry user Poetic T. This is a bit of a long one. I could never count stars as they were always shooting point blank at my forehead. Hollow point dream killers, my eyes open pools of despair. The night shone within the white pools, non-reflective reproductions of desperation. Every sheep that jumped over that hedge, face hugging the granite of my dried up lake of sweet dreams, I'm still awake. That was poem number 3. You need me to reread any of them?
Reread number 2.
Number 2, it's On the Lake That I Call Home by Hello Poetry user Tom with 3 M's. I can remember, seems like only yesterday we were together, living side by side on the lake that I call home. You are there no more. Can't think of a time the water has been as harsh as it is right now. Any more? I've been covering my face this whole time. Sorry, viewers.
I'll go ahead and forgive you on their part. You're
Thank
welcome, audience. Thank you. Shoot. I don't think. So one of these is you,
One of these is me.
and I need to figure out which one.
Yeah.
That's the game.
Yeah. That is the game.
It's hard. I want to say that it's the third one is you, but what I'm actually going to say is that
You don't think it's you think I No More Sweet Dreams? Continue your statement. I cut you off.
well, what I'm actually going to say is the second one is you, Tom 3 M's.
You think I'm Hello Poetry user Tom
Yeah,
with 3 M's?
that's my final answer.
That's your final answer?
Yeah. Look who's wrong.
You're right.
I'm right.
That's me.
Yes.
can
Did you
tell.
have to like check?
No, I was trying to get you to pick a different one.
Oh,
Man. Yeah, no, that was
Yeah.
me.
yeah.
I'm going to read it again so we can bask in its glory. And you'll be able to tell this time I'm going to read it how I actually wrote it
Okay.
So you can tell that it's just 3 haikus smashed together.
Oh, okay. Okay.
On the lake that I call home.
Is that a triku?
By me. Yeah, you got it. I can remember. Seems like only yesterday we were together, living side by side on the lake that I call home. You are there no more. Can't think of a time the water has been as harsh as it is right now. 3 haikus.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, I wrote that last night.
Let me explain to you why I was able to get it.
Because it was the worst of the 3.
No, I wouldn't say that.
I would.
The first one didn't seem to me like something you would have written, but also because you didn't remember which killer it was, I felt like that probably wasn't you. And then the third one, I felt like you probably wouldn't have written something that long.
I thought about doing like 2 pages.
Well, the reason that I felt like that is I thought that you probably, I was trying to get into your head a little bit. I was like, probably if he did this, he either picked poems beforehand and then tried to write something in that same mental scape, or he wrote something and then tried to find things to mask it, to hide it. And I wasn't sure which direction you went, but either way, I felt like the other poems would have been, like, if there was one that stood out for a reason, that one probably wasn't you. And the long one stood out to me, and I was like, that's probably not you then. So that's how I landed on the second one.
Fair enough. To be fair, though, what I did is I picked 2 poems, and then I waited like 3 weeks, and then I wrote one last night.
Fair enough. Yeah, that checks out.
But yeah, no, you did it.
Yes. So I guess that means you're getting punished, my man.
I'm getting punished.
So.
Shit, all right.
Yeah. Punishment time, baby. Here he goes.
Punishment, right? Here we go.
He's going to do 50 of these.
Do 50 of these.
He's going to nail it.
All right, ready?
50 push-ups. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
It's close.
6, 7, 8.
Oh, yeah.
9, 10, 11,
Let's go.
12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22,
I'm gonna die.
23, 24, 25.
Let's take a brief intermission to talk about the themes of the book. Obsession, right?
Yeah.
Obsession is it's a big deal with the book. He's obsessed. What was that? He's obsessed with his own writing, but he thinks he's so good at his own writing that he can never write another book again, which is why he has writer's block. And you know, I get that, which is why I say 26,
27, 28,
I'm going to pull myself up.
29, 30.
And then, you know, another thing, right? You should never do sit-ups in jeans and a wool jacket. That's just wrong. Also, I didn't get the...
Oh, the patches, yeah.
The leather patches. That's a big mistake. I think that would have tied the whole thing together.
Yeah.
But, you know, what they say. What is it? C'est la vie? What does that mean?
Such is life.
Seize the fish. Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
31.
32. 33. 34. 35.
And another thing, you never really think about just how sweaty Alan Wake has to be. He's running around through all those forests. I'm wearing 2 layers right now.
He was wearing like 3 or 4.
in like an old army jacket.
Yeah.
Man, that guy's braver than I am. That's pretty crazy. What am I at? 35?
Yeah.
Well, we can only go higher from there.
36.
37. Did you hear my back pop?
38. 39.
40. I did hit my head that time.
Do you want to reset a little bit? Move forward?
It's more like I'm scooting back.
Yeah, you are, though. Yeah.
And then another thing about Alan Wake is I can't do anymore.
All right.
I'm just kidding. You know what they say. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to go all the way up to 40. 5, 6, 41.
42.
I'm crawling out of this.
43.
Ooh, popped my arm on that one.
44.
Only 6 more.
Yeah, you're basically there.
Like this.
Yeah.
Check it out. Ready? 45. Fuck. I'm so close, Tim. I'm so close. And it's not like
you got this, man.
I used to pop out like 50 a day. And then I stopped for a while. Guys, never stop exercising or you'll feel like you want to die. You know? Yeah. 46. 47.
48.
Damn right.
49. Yeah, there it is.
And one more. We're going.
Make this one special.
Perfect form. Huh. Huh. 50. Wow, look at that.
All right, I'm so proud of you. You made it.
I made it. You know what's even crazier?
What's crazier?
I'm not even tired.
Yeah, so I guess time for some final thoughts here.
Yeah, overall, a bit weak, but I'm not terribly disappointed.
Yeah.
Could have been better.
Yeah.
Could have been worse. I love the game.
Yeah.
And, I thought it was, overall, I didn't hate my time with this book. I won't say that I'd recommend it. If you want to experience a story, play the game.
Definitely.
It's remastered now on like every console, and it's usually on sale.
Yeah.
How about from you?
Yeah, I didn't know what to expect when playing this game, but I absolutely loved the game, had so much fun with it. It does play like an old game, so if you're going to play it, expect that. Yeah. But it's not bad. Like when some old games you play and it's just hard.
Mm-hmm.
This is not like that. It's not hard to get into because of the old mechanics. So, definitely play the game. The book was enjoyable, but the book was mostly enjoyable because I played the game.
Yeah.
So, yeah, same take pretty much that you had.
And now I'm going to steal a bit from a different podcast. Shout out my boys and Nicole from the Marvelous podcast. A thing they always do at the end is they'll recommend, depending on if they liked what they were talking about or if they didn't. Do you want to read something else or read something also? I'm going to say read something also this time. It was fine enough that I'll say I liked it.
Yeah.
Also, it's not going to always be a book. I'm just saying read something also as a catch-all title.
Yeah.
Like I mentioned before, read The Dark Half by Stephen King. And also maybe watch the movie Secret Window, adapted from the short story Secret Window, Secret Garden by Stephen King. Fair warning, Johnny Depp's in it, so that kind of sucks.
Yeah.
But it's a good movie. And also, just for you, because we were talking about survival horror, play Resident Evil 4.
All right.
Either the original or the remake. They're both really fun.
Yeah.
On to you.
Yeah, it's been, well, same as you. I would say read something also. But it's been forever since I've read this, so I don't know if it's actually good. But a similar story concept, the Inkspell books.
Okay.
They're like a YA series. I think there's 3 of them. And basically the general concept is what this guy writes comes to life. And it's a fun, like, fantasy, crazy stuff going on, but characters from what he writes are coming to life and they're causing problems in his life. And I remember really enjoying it. There's a lot of magic. Cool book.
They make a movie out of
Books. Possibly. I never saw it if they did.
For some reason, I'm picturing Brendan Fraser
Okay.
in an Inkspell movie.
Yeah.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Let me
There's
know.
Inkspell,
Is there
Ink Heart. Yeah.
That sounds familiar.
And Ink Death, I think, are the 3. I'm not sure which one's the first one. It might be Ink Heart is the first one. I don't know.
Ink Heart
But
film.
yeah. Yeah, those
With-
were they're long books.
Brendan Fraser.
And I loved them when I was a kid.
As
So,
Mortimer something. It cut off his last name.
but yeah, so again, I don't know how great that book is or those books are, but yeah, same vibes as far as the general concept. And there's a chance we might be reading one of them in a later season that we do.
Ooh,
So
that's
we'll
fun.
see.
Speaking of later stuff, we should talk about what we're going to be reading next time.
Yeah.
So our viewers can be prepared.
Yeah.
This mug was foreshadowing. We're going to be reading Ultraman, the novel based on the TV show from the 60s. The novel is written by Pat Cadigan. The TV show was in Japan.
Yeah. Great show.
Fun show.
And definitely check those out. There are a million Ultraman things.
Yeah.
But the show was the first of them, and this is a novelization of that. So
Yeah. Looking
check
forward
that
to
out.
it.
Join us for that in a month.
And get out of here.
Get gone. All right, you're gonna get taken.
You're gonna get.
You're getting taken, and I'm taking you out
yeah,
right
get
now.
taken. Yeah.
Wow. All right.